right now on 5 on Your Side at 10.
The date, May 30th, 2024. Former President Donald Trump becomes the first former president to be convicted of a felony, found guilty on all 34 counts of falsifying records. Jurors delivered their decision today after 2 days of deliberations. Good evening, I'm Mike Bush.
And I'm Kelly Jackson. This was in connection with a hush money payment to an adult film actor, Stormy Daniels, near the end of the 2016 presidential campaign. Our report tonight from NBC's Jay Gray.
Somber as he walks from the courtroom, former President Donald Trump lashes out at the decision.
This was a rigged, disgraceful trial. I'm a very innocent man.
The first man to sit in the Oval Office as president, then the defendant's chair in a felony criminal case, convicted on 34 counts of falsifying business records as part of a scheme to hide an alleged affair from voters.
And while this defendant may be unlike any other in American history, we arrived at this trial and ultimately today at this verdict in the same manner as every other case that comes through the courtroom doors.
Mr. Trump and his attorneys promising an appeal, the presumptive Republican nominee in the race for the White House, saying the decision that matters most will come on Election Day.
The real verdict is going to be November 5th by the people, and they know what happened here.
Emotions just outside the courthouse following the verdict, a snapshot of the political landscape across the country, deeply divided.
So none of it seems fair to me, and I think a lot of people will feel the way that I feel, that they'll see this as a two-tier justice system.
It was a grand jury indictment and now a jury conviction of his peers. And this is the legal system working.
The former president returning to his Manhattan apartment, waving to supporters, still defiant despite the historic decision. Jay Gray, NBC News, New York.
Let's bring in our political editor, Mark Maxwell, who has been talking to legal experts and prosecutors tonight. So what is the likelihood that the former president faces prison time?
That's a lot more likely today than it was yesterday, but here's what we know about that process. Sentencing is set for July 11, just 4 days before the GOP nominates a candidate for president at the Republican National Convention. Sentencing has to happen first before Trump's legal team can appeal. They've signaled they're already going to rush that appeal. Even if he's sentenced to prison, something they think is unlikely, they're very likely to angle for appeal bond, which means Trump could post that bond and wait for an appellate court to review all of this. That scenario could set the stage for Mr. Trump to accept the GOP nomination for president while facing a prison sentence hanging over his head.
Okay, so those are the legal ramifications. What about political ramifications?
Yeah, Republican delegates may feel some pressure to try and reconsider their choices, but even among those conversations, you start to see some valid concerns take shape. Take Missouri Attorney General Andrew Bailey. He tweets today, quote, "I'll use every legal tool available to ensure Missourians are not deprived of their right to vote for a presidential candidate." Well, that implies Trump's ballot access could be in jeopardy. Why? When the Supreme Court said states can't kick Trump off the ballot earlier, that was over interpretations of insurrection where there was no conviction at a lower court. This is over a felony conviction. The Supreme Court hasn't considered this question, not in this way, so it's possible Trump's ballot access challenges are just now beginning.
All right, so let's talk about the power of a presidential pardon. How far can it really go, and can a president pardon himself?
Yes and no. Here's what we know. Yes on federal crimes, no on state crimes, at least for now. We talked to our legal analyst, Andrews Walker. He says unless the Supreme Court takes up a drastic question to expand presidential pardon powers, you could see a presidential nominee, indeed even a president-elect, behind bars and with no legal recourse to pardon himself. That would rely on a prison sentence. Trump's team sees that's unlikely, and it would be upheld on appeal at the Supreme Court. They also think that's unlikely. Still, this historic, truly unprecedented story, not over yet.
Mark Maxwell, thank you very much. Again, Donald Trump will be sentenced on July 11th. We'll continue to follow this breaking story on air on KSDK.com and on the 5 on Your Side app.
We continue to learn more about 2 children murdered in Jefferson County, 9-year-old Scarlett and 2-year-old Isaac. Their mother now facing 2 first-degree murder charges in separate counties. Ashley Parmalee is now being held in the Jefferson County Jail without bond. 5 on Your Side's Laura Barcheski joins us in studio with how the community continues to come together for the grieving families.
Kelly, the community wants these kids to be remembered as the shining lights they were. To honor their memory, a local business is stepping in to help with fundraising efforts.
Family friends describe 2-year-old Isaac and 9-year-old Scarlett as happy and loving kids taken too soon.
Love describes both of them deeply.
The community held a vigil for both Scarlett and Isaac's families just a day after they were killed.
I mean, the entire community, Jefferson County and beyond, I mean, they have so much support.
The Jefferson County Sheriff's Office shared this beautiful moment. Balloons were released at the Twin City Little League softball field where Scarlett put in the hours to be a pitcher.
Because that was one of the last places she practiced pitching.
She was also in gymnastics and cheer. Her coaches at Flipside and Festus say she had so much energy and a big heart.
Because she had beautiful tumbling and flying, she was beautiful and she smiled and she drew your attention there. So
these kids have inspired people even miles away in Park Hills to do good.
I was laying in bed scrolling through and just seeing how hard it has hit everybody.
Four Towns Brewing Company bartender Bobby Collier says as a mom, she is heartbroken.
I'm a mom of 2 little boys, and it hit my heart a little bit, and I was like, you know, we're a small town. We can do great things for this family.
Collier says they are selling $25 tickets to 2 different raffles. One is for their mug club that has special perks at the bar for 1 year, and the other is a chance to win a free night in their speakeasy event space.
And we're also going to host a cornhole tournament, and part of those funds also will go towards the family. For the raffle, 100% of the profit is going to go for the family.
She says she wishes she could wrap her arms around these families.
I would hug them. I would just tell them that it's hard, and I cannot even imagine what everyone's going through.
You can help the families by donating to their GoFundMe pages or buying raffle tickets through Four Towns Brewing Company online. The tickets will also be sold in several Festus businesses. We'll have more information on KSDK.com.
Frustrations are rising among water-weary tenants north of downtown St. Louis.
Some people at Webster School senior apartments say they are living without water. Others say the water pressure inside their units is so low they can barely bathe. Today, they shared their concerns with Robert Townsend.
Kelly and Mike, the tenants say they've been battling the water woes for a long time. You bet they are up to their necks with dealing with this.
Tenant after tenant.
I have no water. It's been going on for like 3 months.
Is frustrated at Webster School senior apartments near 11th Street and Compton Place, just north of downtown St. Louis.
I'm filling up mop buckets.
Some say for days, even weeks now, the water inside their units has dropped to barely a drip or completely dried up.
It's exhausting.
68-year-old Geraldine Duckett says ever since she moved into her apartment 3 years ago, her water pressure has been low. For the past 2 mornings,
I turned the faucet on and let it just drip pretty much on a towel that I can wash my face with.
She and her neighbors haven't been able to do their dishes, flush toilets, or take baths.
Do you care, or you just care about us paying our rent?
49 seniors live here. Tenants say they've complained to George Robnett, the on-site property manager.
We're working on it, so I kind of just let it go.
When I stopped by his office, Robnett declined to talk on camera. He did say they're dealing with a water pressure problem at the building. A problem, he says, was the result of a water main break near Penrose and Blair nearly a month ago. But St. Louis City spokesman Rasmus Jorgensen says that break was fixed. Jorgensen also says we have verified that there is water pressure in the area, so the problem appears to be internal to the building.
The city didn't find out about this until today?
I don't know when the city found out. I found out about it several weeks ago. I've reached out to the city today after being here.
I want water. I want these people to do.
Now, late this afternoon, the St. Louis Urban League donated 95 cases of bottled water to the seniors at that apartment building. The city spokesman also telling me tomorrow they're sending a plumbing inspector to the building to help identify the problem. Of course, I'll keep you posted.
Today marks 1 year since Gabe Gore was sworn in as the Circuit Attorney of St. Louis. Gore hit the ground running, saying the office was severely understaffed. When he started, there were only 2 unit supervisors running the office. There are now 10. There were 22 trial attorneys. Today they have 45. When Gore took over, there was a huge backlog of cases. He tells us starting with the most violent crimes was critical.
Getting some violent offenders who had been basically operating with impunity and probably were emboldened by that, getting those violent offenders off the street. I have no doubt that that work has saved lives.
Gore said they've also resolved 70 homicide cases. The idea now is to hire even more attorneys since they're still understaffed. The long-term goal is to invest in training, more technology, and increase salaries. Well, tonight, an opportunity for boys and teenagers in our area to get involved in a positive outlet to develop talent and teach life skills.
The Family of Vision is accepting new members from elementary to high school to join their nationally recognized STEP teams. Brent Solomon shows us the difference it's making in shaping young men.
They've built a name for themselves not only in St. Louis, but across the nation. Here they are last weekend in New York after placing in a national step competition. Leaders say the Family of Vision exposes boys from elementary, middle, and high school to things and places they've never seen.
Walking around Times Square, meeting new people, seeing the bright lights, tall buildings.
What'd you think of that?
It was amazing.
If you ask these young men, they'll tell you it's about more than stepping. Through the art, they learn discipline and so much more.
Brotherhood, learn how to be a man, learn how to not make excuses.
Organizers say that's why they do this.
A lot of the neighborhoods that these guys lived in, I was once a kid running up and down those streets. Knowing what they're going through at home and seeing that they're able to persevere through all those trials and tribulations and still become that young, successful man.
At Riverview Gardens High Thursday, current and prospective members gathering for an open house, learning how to get involved. They're looking for boys of all ages in the St. Louis area. You don't have to know how to step. You just have to be committed to being your best.
You discover what abilities that you didn't know you even have.
And when other young men are making the news for all the wrong reasons, the Family of Vision is stepping up to be the change.
It keeps us off the streets.
Brent Solomon, 5 on your side.
And the Family of Vision will hold a week-long step camp this summer to prepare new members for the upcoming season. To learn more and to apply, visit their website, which you can find on KSDK.com.
Impersonation scams on the rise.
Lies, so many lies. I tell them I'm on deployment. I have no access to Wi-Fi. I have no access to my phone.
A former scammer spills his secrets. Our I-Team tells us how you can protect yourself from being a target, bringing down the hammer and dominating while doing it. A local athlete is getting ready to represent St. Louis on the national stage.
Rain chances ramping up for part of the weekend, but the severe weather chances stay low. When you'll dodge the drops this weekend.
The remains of 2 missionaries killed in Haiti are expected to be back in the United States this week. Natalie and David Lloyd were killed in an ambush at a church near Port-au-Prince. Natalie is the daughter of Missouri State Representative Ben Baker. Funeral services will be next week.
Tonight, we bring you an investigation into a disturbing rise in impersonation scams. These scams are targeting some of the most vulnerable among us, the elderly.
Senior investigative reporter Paula Vassan uncovers the tactics used by criminals and introduces you to a former scammer turned whistleblower.
Chris Maxwell is a voice you don't hear from every day.
I create fake profiles.
Once a scammer, he's now exposing the dark secrets of a global fraud network.
I just wanted to make a lot of money.
A reformed scammer from Nigeria.
I made over $70,000 in total.
He conned women into wiring him money, pretending to be in love with them, but only over the phone. He never showed his face.
So how did you get away with it?
Lies, so many lies. I tell them I'm on deployment. I have no access to Wi-Fi. I have no access to my phone.
He's now using his insider knowledge to help authorities track down these criminals.
I felt really bad for what I did.
He describes a complex network where scammers impersonate government officials, law enforcement, and even family members.
Every day there are new scammers, there are new techniques, there are new methods.
New methods like artificial intelligence. Last month, the I-Team reported on a St. Louis County man who got a call he never expected.
And it was my daughter.
and she was crying, and she said, "Dad, I've been in an accident."
It was not his daughter. Instead, a scammer used AI to recreate her voice. The I-Team discovered just how prevalent these scams are. In the first 3 months of the year, there were more than 58,000 impersonation scams in Missouri. It led to millions in losses, and it's only getting worse.
It is extremely frightening.
Tracy Berry with the United States Attorney's Office in St. Louis just indicted 7 people in this complex ring of organized crime. Their victims were in the St. Louis area and around the country.
Sometimes we're not finding out until the person has already done 3, 4, 5 transactions with a person.
And lost their life savings?
And lost their life savings, absolutely.
She tells the I-Team scammers even fly directly to people's homes to pick up money. And she's finding older people are often targeted.
What can people do to prevent this from happening to them?
What they can do is to have a trusted contact and say, what do you think of this?
Maxwell agrees.
People have to be on guard, really.
If you think you're a target of an impersonation scam, reach out to your local law enforcement. We've also listed resources for you online at ksdk.com. For the I-Team, Paula Vasan, 5 on your side.
Chief Meteorologist Scott Connell is here with the Weather First forecast. Just a beautiful day today.
Yeah, it was gorgeous today.
It was gorgeous today. Tomorrow won't be quite as bright, and then the rain arrives. So we're focused here on Saturday morning because the weekend's almost here, and it will be wet when you get up Saturday morning. We're going to get a half an inch, maybe some of us up to an inch of rain overnight, Friday night into early on Saturday. But as we head towards lunchtime, the rain chances start to go down, and by later in the afternoon, it all scatters out. Where's it coming from? Well, we're already seeing some clouds increasing across the bi-state region. Showers and a few rumbles of thunder have been out across far western Missouri into parts of Kansas. The stronger storms down across Oklahoma into Texas and Louisiana tonight. All of that staying down to our south. But effectively, this is what's going to head our way as we head into tomorrow night and early on Saturday. It keeps moving. That's an important part of the story. Some of the outlying areas, especially east of St. Louis, look at Troy, already down to 63. We go over towards the Interstate 57 corridor. You have a much cooler night. Low 70s in town. Areas to the west of St. Louis, clouds already thickening a bit, and that'll put a limit on just how cool we get. Most of us not as cool tomorrow morning as we were this morning. We were 57 this morning, 80 the afternoon high. As Mike and Kelly said, oh so comfortable today, and it's still comfortable tomorrow morning. Most of us are in the 50s to around 60. Clouds are on the increase, so we'll call it partly cloudy. Those clouds thicken as we head through the day. This is lunchtime tomorrow. The rain's coming out of the Ozarks, headed towards St. Louis. It'll be working its way up 44 by the evening rush hour, but still west and south of St. Louis. As we go through the evening, the rain chances increase. Remember how dry and comfortable it's been the last couple of days? This air is very dry, so we have to fight that initially with this system, but the rain will win, and tomorrow night through the overnight hours, early on Saturday morning, it is going to be soggy. Then the system keeps on moving, and as it scoots on out, we will see decreasing chances for rain on Saturday. We are set up here on Sunday for this system to keep on moving, and as it skedaddles, that leaves us high and dry for Sunday. We're thinking partly cloudy skies and temperatures Sunday afternoon back into the mid-80s. And that's all reflected in the next 10 days ahead, with the focus really on the first part of the weekend because the rain is going to be with us early on Saturday. It arrives tomorrow afternoon and tomorrow evening across the area, and then really ramps up during the overnight hours tomorrow night. Severe weather not expected with this.
All right, well, at least that's good news.
Yes.
Scott, thanks. Frank is next with sports.
Mike, the Cardinals are moving up in the standings without having to play. You won't believe the show put on in the NBA playoffs, and we have a local woman who can squat 400 pounds and may go to the Olympics.
Start your engine, St. Louis. NASCAR's Cup Series Enjoy Illinois 300 is back at the Worldwide Technology Raceway track this weekend. We're telling you how the whole family can get involved and the big impact this is making on the bi-state. Friday morning on Today in St. Louis.
This 5 on Your Side Sports Report is sponsored by Telly Tire and Auto Centers, driving your way since 1942.
The smoking hot Cardinals had the day off, and this weekend they'll be playing the best team in baseball, the Phillies. I'm happy to report that the Cardinals go to bed tonight in second place in the National League Central. That's because of what happened today in Milwaukee. Cubs and Brewers tied at 4 in the 8th inning. Gary Sanchez delivers a 2-run bomb. The Brewers win it 6-4, and the Cardinals move ahead of the Cubs in the Central Division. Luka Doncic says, Jason Tatum, get ready. I'm coming. The Mavericks 6'8" guard outscored the Timberwolves by himself in the first quarter. That was from the logo. Luka finished with 36, and when he gave it up, Kyrie Irving ate it up. Kyrie had 36. Mavs win the game 124-103, and the series in 5. Bring on the Celtics. Game 5 in Madison Square Garden with the Rangers hosting the Panthers. 1-1 game until Anton Lundell will get the goal. The Panthers get a 3-2 win. They lead the series 3-2.
This 5 on Your Side St. Louis City SC coverage is sponsored by Together Credit Union.
City SC is set for one of their most anticipated matches of the year this weekend. They're heading to Miami to take on Leo Messi and Inter Miami FC. While their opponent may be at the top of the table and have a roster filled with big names, City says they're sticking to their game plan. They can't get starstruck.
I mean, yeah, it's cool, but at the end of the day, you can't go on the field and be starstruck of these players. They've had great careers. They're still very high-quality players, and we need to be very wary of them. But I think if we go out there with that mindset, if we put out 11 players who are starstruck, then we might as well just pitch up to lose. And that's not what we stand for, and that's not who we are.
The Enjoy Illinois 300 is coming up at Worldwide Technology Raceway Sunday afternoon. Nobody will cover it like 5 on Your Side. Corey Miller will spend the day with Kenny Wallace, and we will go one-on-one with the winner. The festivities started tonight with the JJK 5K run. I warmed her up on our 6 o'clock live shot at the track. Love that woman. Saturday, we'll also have live wrestling right there on the track. Big Texas in that sexy black tank top that he borrowed from Mike Bush and the Alamo were working out this evening. What a weekend at the track it will be. I don't think many of you have seen this sport before. It's the hammer throw, and the woman behind me can throw it about as far as anybody in the country. With the help of photographer Randy Schwenkert, we give you the story. You are looking at a unique athlete. For one, there's the strength of Samantha Kunza.
Well, she squats like 405 pounds, so I mean most men can't throw or can't squat that, and so she's just super naturally strong.
Then there's the history. Samantha is the first SLU female track athlete to ever qualify for the NCAA Track and Field Championships.
It means everything. I'm really excited to go out there at Eugene and represent St. Louis, and I'm excited.
She got a head start in the hammer throw. Samantha began at age 12. Her brother was a thrower also. And this 5'7", 23-year-old was always great. At Timberland High School, she had the longest throw in America. Samantha spent her first 4 years at Alabama, but she decided to put her name in the portal last year.
I was pretty excited. We reached out to her right away. And
it all started in St. Louis, and I love St. Louis, so I really wanted to come back to my family and friends and be at home. And be dominating.
Samantha has the 13th longest toss in the NCAA this year. She throws that 8.8-ounce hammer about 217 feet. And right now, that throw also qualifies her for the Olympic trials.
I can accomplish anything that I want to do.
You know what's amazing? She's been doing this since she was 12 with this Herculean strength, maximum effort, and she's never had any type of like arm or shoulder surgery.
I'd just get dizzy watching her.
That.
It's what a skill.
Yeah.
Wow.
She's spectacular.
Well, good luck to her.
Are you recovered from your run with JJK?
Oh, yes. Still so tired.
And I need that tank top back. Summer and baseball go hand in hand. You're looking live at Busch Stadium, how you can score some discounted tickets to several series. Kicking off summer with America's favorite pastime. McDonald's is teaming up with the Cardinals to get fans to Busch Stadium. In fact, you can get tickets for several summer matchups starting at just $6. So the eligible series include the Royals, Rangers, Reds, and more. And you can find a link in the As Seen on TV section of KSDK.com. The Cards are not in town, but there was plenty of activity tonight at Ballpark Village. It was the American Cancer Society Shave to Save event. Tonight, volunteers turned out to get their heads or faces shaved after getting people to donate to their team. Money raised goes to Hope Lodge, a home away from home for people who come to St. Louis for cancer treatment. Organizers urge getting screened, and they say early detection saves lives.
The Susan G. Komen More Than Pink Walk is coming up soon. It is Saturday, June 8th at 9 a.m. in Tower Grove Park. That's a week from this Saturday. And our own Kay Quinn is MC. Money raised supports breast cancer research, care, and support. And Five on Your Side has been a partner with the walk for more than 25 years. To register, text Komen to 314-425-5355, and we'll send you a link.
And there you have it. 5 on Your Side at 10. The Tonight Show starring Jimmy Fallon is next.
Start your day with Today in St. Louis. That starts at 4 a.m. Have a great tomorrow.